Hi, everybody. I'm Jarrett Rush. I'm the Director of Content Marketing here at Idea Grove. And talking with me today is Katie Long. She's our Vice President of Account Services. And one of the things we've been talking about a lot inside the agency, Katie, is that we like to think of ourselves as idea makers and not order takers. So we like to really be involved in this strategy part of helping clients with strategy and coming up with goals and ways to achieve those goals. And I was kind of wondering, from your perspective, as someone who is sort of the face of our account team and and that's the client side of what we do. You have more client interaction than the rest of the teams do. What is the role of an agency in helping with client strategy? And then ideally, what should that be? So I guess, what do you typically see? And then what would you like to see?
So a lot of times we see clients coming to us because they have a set budget and maybe they could hire a couple of people internally full time, but then they're going to get a specific skill set, a graphic designer or somebody who's a search specialist. And when they decide to go with an agency, what they're really getting is sort of a wealth of knowledge that goes broadly across all of communication and marketing, also lots of years of experience. So we like to position ourselves as strategic partners, and we want to help these companies, be able to come up with a marketing strategy and to lean on our expertise. Also, we tend to work with growth-oriented companies that are mid-market. Their goals and their plans are changing year by year, and they really need to be able to lean on a team of people to kind of pivot. And so when I see our role with our clients, it's really around being able to help them pivot, seeing what's happening in their industry and at their company that maybe means we need to make some changes to the strategy. Sometimes we'll get a company coming to us saying, we think we need PR. We've got an announcement coming up, and we really try to dig in, is that the best way that we can possibly help them? Our favorite way to work with clients is to sort of do the end-to-end marketing machine, where we get to do everything from building the content to doing the email campaign and maybe using HubSpot to track everything, be able to nurture leads, PR, building the SEO, being able to touch all those things, see how they all work together, and then how they lead to building brand awareness and also helping to generate, MQLs.
So you mentioned, strategy changes and goals change, especially in these companies that we kind of specialize in, these growth-oriented companies. And so they're moving pretty quickly. I think that speed can sometimes cause people to get distracted from those broader goals. They kind of can get real caught up in the weeds of the tactical weeds a little bit. And so what causes this? And then what's our role as an agency in getting them back on track?
I think that our clients have to deal with a lot of different internal stakeholders who have an opinion about what marketing should look like. And they spend a lot of time educating people internally about the value of marketing and communications, how it can influence sales, how it can shape the perception that buyers have of their company. And they're getting a lot of advice, particularly when you're talking about something really visible, like maybe a website. Everyone has an opinion about that. And so our job is to help them, arm them with a lot of information and the context for why what we're doing is going to benefit all these different departments internally. So sure, distractions are going to come up. There might be a sudden partnership, or it's race to get some content and some PR out there and write a press release. Our goal is to weave that into the overall strategy and stay the course. Now, sometimes there's things that happen like this global pandemic, and we proactively work with our clients to let's look at everything we're doing through the lens of, does this make sense? Is this going to resonate with your buyers? And so we try to get ahead of that as much as possible.
So it's less about steering them back on course. It's more about kind of keeping them there, even with all the things, recognizing that these things are important. These things that kind of pop up are important, but making sure we work that into the strategy, as opposed to saying, you've gotten off course, let's kind of bring you back.
I think it depends. It can be either. Sometimes there are things that our clients are told we have to make this happen, or hey, what if there's a surprise merger or acquisition? That changes everything. And we've had that happen with brand new clients, and the whole strategy we just come up with went right out the door, and it's start from scratch. So in cases of like that, you're starting over. But when random kind of to-do items start coming in the door, like what you were talking about earlier, we're not really a time and material shop, just arms and legs. We want to help them have a strategy that is going to hold weight, because when you get to the end of the year and our marketing clients are talking about their results with the C-suite, it's not going to matter that we made these 15 changes to the website and put out this press release that didn't really get coverage. It's our job to evaluate the ask that's coming in the door and provide guidance on, let's shift the timing, or let's shift the strategy, or let's put this on hold, because we are in charge of making our clients look good and having them have results.
Seems like that can be sometimes a tough conversation to have. So how do you approach it?
From a place of empathy. Agency life gets a bad rap sometimes because it can be crazy. You're juggling a lot of balls, but depending how you look at it, in some ways it's a lot easier than an in-house gig. In-house, you are, dealing with, educating a lot of people on why what you do is important, because with marketing and communications, it's not always do A, B will happen right away. Sometimes it's more of a long game. And they're always fighting to not only grow their budget, but keep their budget. So one of the most important ways that we can be a good partner to our clients is knowing why they're coming to us with the things they're coming to us with, or why they're asking to do things that don't make a lot of sense. Trying to put ourselves in our clients' shoes and then being their advocate and thinking through, what is the best way to position this in the best interest of the company and our client contact.
So what is that? You talked about relationship. What does a healthy client and agency relationship look like?
A high level of trust. We have a pretty experienced team, like, Jared on your team, you and Les Worley have been doing this for decades. And I see our clients really grateful when you say, I know you're wanting us to write about this, but I disagree and this is why. Challenging each other, building upon ideas, that's what makes for a really solid campaign and for good results. So, but in order to have those conversations and that, healthy conflict, I think they call it, no silent disagreement, you have to have that high level of trust.
What goes into building that trust? Obviously time is a big factor, but other than that, what goes into building a relationship that's like that?
Being transparent, treating each other like you're really partners and not just one person has the upper hand, the other person's the vendor. The more our clients share with us about what's going on in their environment and in their business, the more that provides the context for us to help them. And, we have client confidentiality. We have NDA agreements with all of our clients. And so we encourage them to share struggles they might be having with sales. Sometimes we might be working with them in one way, like on content or a website or in PR, and it will open our eyes to something else that might be a better use of their time and their money. So just being able to share all the information and trust each other and then be really candid is really important for building a good relationship.
Well, Katie, that was everything I had. I thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your, I guess it's Thursday today. So thanks for a few minutes of your Thursday. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks so much, Jared.
Thanks a lot.